first video of Yoga on the Couch. My name is Madeline and I'm going to be your yoga instructor for today. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to show you 3 easy poses that you can do from the comfort of your own couch at home. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the pose name, the benefits, some cautions, and then I'm also going to show you some modifications that you can do for each pose. What I want to start with today for you guys is easy pose or Sukhanasana. What you're going to do is you're going to crisscross your legs. And when doing this pose, I recommend switching up your legs every time you try it so you're not favoring one leg. And then after that, you're going to sit up straight spine, and I really use this pose to fall into my breath and see how my body is feeling today. I recommend that you guys do the same. You can have your hands on your knees, take a couple deep breaths. Something else you can try is you can bring your hands to heart center to bring more energy to your heart chakra, and then you can also bring them to third eye center to bring more energy to your third eye chakra. That's going to be the spot right in between your brows right there. So this pose is super beneficial for your spine and strengthening your back. It's also going to stretch your knees and ankles, open your hips, groins, and outer thighs. This pose is also great because it's going to reduce stress and anxiety that you're feeling in this moment. If you need to take a moment throughout the day where you need to feel less stress, I recommend this pose. It's quick, it's easy, and it's very simple to remember. Something that I recommend looking out for is if you have tight hips, this may not feel very beneficial to you. And then also knee injuries, if they are recent or chronic, this could feel hard on you as well. If anything doesn't feel good for you, please just don't do it, because yoga is meant to feel good and every pose is optional. So if you have tight hips, I actually want to show you a modification specifically for you. What you're going to do is, for our use today, we're going to use a couch pillow. You're going to go ahead and take it and maybe stand up to place it, but put it right below your sits bones, which is basically your glute bones. So you're going to tuck it back, and then you're going to place your sits bones here and tuck this under your thighs, and then you'll cross your legs again. And as you can see here, my knees are now below my hips. That's going to make it a lot less tense on your hip muscles. So this is going to be just a great way for it to feel good for you if you have tight hips. Another thing that people do struggle with in this pose is their back. If you have a sensitive back or a back injury, it may not feel as good for you. So what I recommend in that instance is using something to push your back against. In our case, it's going to be couch cushions. If you're in a different setting, it may be a wall or something to that extent. So you'll just lean back. That's really going to take the pressure off your back if you're experiencing any pain in this position. So that's our first pose of this 3-pose sequence. The second pose that I want to show you today is child's pose, Balasana. A lot of you are going to feel very familiar with this because it is used in a lot of yoga sequences. What you're going to do is you're going to bring your knees out wide and your big toes to touch, and then you're going to sit your glutes back on your heels. And then of course you're going to stretch forward, bringing your arms out in front of you. That's going to make the pose a little more active, so if you're looking for restorative, you can always bring your arms backwards. So child's pose is a great relaxation pose. What it's going to do is it's going to stretch your hips and your thighs and your ankles. This pose is also another great pose that's going to reduce stress, and it also reduces fatigue as well. Really overall, what it's going to do for you is it's going to calm and center your brain, because your nervous system feels so relaxed in this pose that your body feels at homeostasis with itself. Something that I would look out for in this pose is knee injury. If you're doing this pose on a hard surface, like the floor, then you're gonna maybe wanna have something soft below your knees. For our purpose, the couch is great because you already have the cushions. But you can always roll up a yoga mat to place under your knees, or even fold a thick blanket and put it under your knees. Another thing to be cautious about is if you're pregnant, you wanna ensure that your stomach is not pressing into your thighs. So maybe you're gonna have to widen your knees out a little bit further and then fold forward so that when you fold forward, your stomach is not pressed against your thighs, it's going to rest in between your thighs. Another thing that you can do in this pose is you can widen it if you want more of a hip stretch, or if you're having a hard time and it's hard on your hips, bring your knees as close as you want. You can bring them all the way together. This may be referred to as embryo pose in some other situations, but it really is a modification of child's pose. So you just have your knees all the way together, no gaps, nothing, and then you'll proceed to stretch forward, and that will feel a lot better on your hips. That is our second pose in our 3-pose sequence for today. The pose that I want to end with today is seated forward fold, or Paschimottanasana. So for this one, you're going to stretch your legs long out in front of you, and then we're going to reach our arms above our head, and then exhale to lean forward. You can grab around the bottoms of your feet, or you can grab what's accessible to you, whether that be your ankles, your shins. This pose is a really, really deep stretch for your entire backside of your body, from anything from your heels to your neck. And what it's going to do for you is it's going to calm your nervous system, because most forward fold poses do that. It's also going to calm your emotions, and a really fun fact about it is it stimulates your reproductive system and your urinary system. Something to look out for in this pose, if you have any arm, hip, ankle, shoulder injuries that are recent or chronic, it may not feel good for you. And like I mentioned earlier, just do what feels good in your body and really listen to some telltale signs. If it hurts, it's probably not going to be beneficial for you. So something that I recommend for this, couple modifications to make it feel different for different bodies, is one, you can bend your knees as much as you need to. So if you need to bend them all the way up here, great, and then that way it's going to make it easier for you to get that stretch. Another great thing is, if it's accessible to you, is that you can use a yoga strap, and I'm going to show you how to do that here. So I'm going to take my yoga strap, I'm going to grab it on either end, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around my feet. And make sure your spine is straight, but what it's going to help you do is it's going to help you pull yourself forward so you're not straining as much on your shoulders, and you don't feel the need to wrap your hands around your feet. And then you'll just lean forward, using the strap to pull yourself forward. So that was our third pose for today and our last pose. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I would love to hear some comments from you down below of what poses you would like to see from me next.